There we go.
Hello and welcome to the Masalatech Chaicast. Today we got Nate from Tech Me Now. Hey Nate.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me today.
Oh, no problem. And we also have Peter. He doesn't really have a title. Welcome to the Masalatech
Just
Chaicast.
just Peter from the orchestra, whatever.
Peter from Orchestra. Just some kid I saw walking around. I asked him if he wanted to be in a podcast.
That's not true. Oh, asshole.
Isn't that how Philippe joined too? Like he
And
just.
he's really persistent. Alright, so Alright, so have you guys seen the new Star Wars, first off?
I have.
I
Before we
have.
get to any of the tech, I thought that was pretty important. What did you think?
Well, for me, I don't know. Here's what I did. I saw the first trailer, the first teaser trailer that came out, and after that, I told myself I'm not gonna watch any more trailers until the opening day because I don't want to spoil myself because most trailers shows a lot, the whole chunk of the movie, so I
Right.
didn't want to watch that. And then finally, I watched it. It was great in the beginning, and kind of left kind of disappointed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. To be
I
honest
have
with you.
I watched them just to like. Okay, so I had actually never seen Star Wars up until 2 weeks ago. So I
Okay.
watched four through. Okay, so I watched four, five, and six with my parents.
Yeah.
Then my brother came home and he wanted to see them, so I saw four, five, and six, four, five, and six again. Spaceballs, one, two, three, and then seven.
He must be.
Of
That
course.
is funny.
I like not to spoil anything, but there's a lot. I mean, okay, in terms of non-spoiler stuff, I think the ending could have been a little better.
Yeah,
I don't know.
especially. Yeah, for real.
No. What do you think, Pete?
What?
Got anything? What do you think about the new Star Wars?
That's the only one I've seen.
But okay, get off. Disconnect. End the call. I can't go on any further.
So here's my opinion. So 4, 5, and 6 is more like my generation or the older generation,
Right.
and 1, 2, and 3, episode 1, 2, and 3 is kind of like the newer generation, and then the upcoming Star Wars movie is like the kid, the next generation that's growing up.
Right.
Um, I don't think it appeals to everyone, but a lot of people's been saying it's been good. But for me, honestly, yeah, I kind of left a little bit disappointed
I
after
think
all that hype.
yeah, that's true. I really enjoyed one, two, and three when I after have the whole like, oh, cool, it's the new Star Wars or it's the old Star Wars nostalgia factor kind of thing. But then it's like, I one, two, and three, the lightsaber battles are so much cooler.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, graphically, visually, everything was stunning.
Yeah,
Don't get
for
me
sure.
wrong on that part. Everything was beautifully done. J.J. Abrams like really took it up a notch. But when it comes to like story, I think the story could have been a little bit better, just a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe.
If yeah,
Alright, well, yeah, I can see what you. Okay, on to the next topic. What do you guys think
yeah,
about the LG V10?
that's the most recent one that they came up with, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's the new premium LG phone. Yeah, what do you guys think about it?
I don't know. Maybe
I,
Peter,
I
you
haven't
wanted to
looked at
chime
it
in
too
on that
much.
one?
I really like
Yeah,
it. I
you got
really
anything on
like
that?
that phone, actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's okay. Would you a double selfie camera?
What do you mean? What?
Like it comes with two front-facing cameras, right?
Well, that's not the point, Sam. I don't selfie that much. I mean,
You sure?
yeah.
Important for me, just nice selfie cams. But okay, what's your thing?
Um, One really cool thing. So there's like two screen on the LG V10.
Right.
The top one and the front one there's a small one and the big one, right?
Right.
And they're controlled by different chip actually. And that's kind of similar to when you think about Galaxy S6 Edge.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Isn't it
saying?
just it's like
But
very
there's okay.
top bar?
So
Top
for
bar?
so for um for so the deal with Galaxy S6 Edge is it has two curved screen on the side,
Hmm.
and you
Right.
can pull things from the side and then do some other additional function, like pull up the recent contact, whatever. And for LG V10, you put it on the side instead of making a curved screen. So it's actually the same idea, having a screen that is that can help you do something else.
A separate screen.
Okay, I
I
guess
see
I
what you
do so what I'm saying, but I do like it. I like it a lot.
mean. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how I feel about. I'm not a huge fan of LG's UI, like their
Mhm.
UX, what they did with Android. I just, meh, it's not my thing.
Well,
I
and yeah, and the other thing is when you have the 6 edges, sometimes it is easy to like miss touch or something because the
right.
curved screen when you're holding your hand. But with the
Yeah.
V10, you have that thing on the top, and you don't have that problem. And then, um, well, I just want to talk about something else. Have you ever used an app called the Glove Box?
No, I
It's
haven't.
like a
Oh,
sidebar app when
go
you
from the
can
side. Yeah, yeah.
pull, yeah, you can pull a menu
Oh,
from
okay.
the side of your smartphone, and then you listed the app that you put on the sidebar.
Right.
So a problem with me is I always forget that I have the sidebar on. So, and ending up I didn't use the sidebar as much as I thought I will. So
Hmm.
my idea is when you have the Samsung S6 Edge, same as my friends, they don't use the function as much as they think they will. They don't use the function with the curved screen. Um, like they didn't even think about it. But with V10 is always on there. There's always app. Well, you can always it always reminds you like, oh, this is a quicker way for me to access the other app or whatever.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
accidentally pressing something, right? Yeah, I agree with that on that part. I have the Essex Edge actually, and yeah, it does kind of get annoying, especially when you're using it with one-handed, and then your
Mhm.
part of your thumb taps on the edge or taps somewhere on the screen, and it actually activates an app that I didn't want to, or taps on a link that I don't want to add. So that part was a little bit of annoyance for me, but yeah, like Peter said, you don't use the edge part. I rarely use the edge part too.
Well,
Yeah.
and then it's not like the edge part is totally useless. It's well, I guess for some people it might be useful. It's just they don't always remember like, oh, I can do this from the side. But and if you have that on top, you're always thinking about it like, oh, that's something on top I can just click and I can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really think the V10, with what they did, I think they can extend that a little bit further. I'm kind of looking forward to their next iteration of the phone. With all the innovation or features that they added onto the V10, I think they could play around with it a little bit more, and then uh, yeah, make it look a lot better and make it just a better overall phone.
I
But
think
yeah,
luxury phone is a thing. I really think it's like one of those top, top tier, maybe not exactly a flagship, but like a side flagship kind of. Because I mean, if you look at the specs, it's what like, 573 pixel density, like or PPI, and a secondary display. Like eh, that's just what that's what I think. I have a problem with stock, especially with all the stuff that Google's adding now with in stock Android. It's becoming almost exactly what I want.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
like what you said, Sahan, like LG's UI, at first when I saw the G3, I was like, it's the best thing I've ever seen, but it got dated really fast. It grew me, it
As,
outgrew me really fast.
as much as I love Android, I just think that's a common flaw in a lot of Android phones. Is like okay, so an iPhone, it's an iPhone. You're gonna get at least two. You're gonna get a year or two. Like 2 or 3 years of iOS updates, and
Hmm.
your phone's gonna be pretty decent for those 2 or 3 years. Like Android, if you have an Android phone, you don't know how long it's gonna last until it becomes like the Nexus X. It was like $400 premium phone like a year ago. All of a sudden, my phone's worth $200.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, for Android phone you have to buy like a Nexus or else your phone will be will not get the update after like a year or two.
Right.
Like my
Yeah, I
Nexus
guess.
survived for 5 years. Well, I mean like 4 years. So I'm pretty happy with. I'm really happy with that. But with my other like tablets, that's not the same thing. They for example, from 2.3 to 4.0, that's a big update. And for my old tablet, I didn't get that. I have to, if I wanna have the new system on my tablet, I have to buy a new one then.
Right.
But also Apple they only have that many products, so they can take care of all of them.
Yeah, that's
They can
true.
take care of the update for all of them. But
Yeah.
for
It's
Android, you
just
have millions of devices, so I guess that's
it's the
you
nice
just
thing they
have
have is
to.
like a lockdown ecosystem.
Hmm.
It's nice.
And I
I mean,
think this will get a lot better once Android really get combined with Chrome OS when it become a well, that's not going to happen for a long time, but when it
right.
became a
It's gonna
cloud OS, when it become a cloud OS, it's going to be a lot better. You don't have to update your phone at all. Every time you go on your phone, it's going to be well, it's going to be automatically updated. So
be right. Well, I okay. So LG V10 is a
yeah.
gimmick. So no, just saying like to wrap up the segment, LG V10 high premium phone with a cool feature that works most of the time.
I
So we
think
agree on that.
LG V10 should have be the G4 actually, except for V10
Really?
is too expensive.
And it has a you can't. I don't think you can have a flagship with like a weird. Oh, I never mind. Okay, S6. Never mind. Or
Yeah,
Note.
I just think, well, like what Samsung did from S5 to S6, and I think LG should have, like, they should have put V10, make it to G4, so they don't have two separate things fighting with each other.
All right. Okay, so we got a couple of questions from our audience, I guess.
Ooh,
So what do you
yeah.
guys questions? What do you guys think of CES?
Well, I didn't go, obviously.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah, I
invited, obviously, but I missed it.
no,
Well, they wanted me to.
I would have loved to go. I saw
Yeah.
a lot of coverage from MKBHD and other tech YouTubers, and stuff like that. There are some interesting things. Um, I think I don't know. I think the CES show was a little bit, on the weak
Underwhelming.
side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't
I
see. Yeah,
have you heard of the Robin? Was it the oh shoot, what's it called?
Next Bit Robin.
Next Fit Robin. Okay,
Yeah,
that's I don't know what you guys think of it, but that's easily my favorite phone of this year.
yeah. I'm a little bit 50-50.
Oh, we got a hey,
But
you're a little bit 50. Why though? I just love the hardware. So,
Yeah, the hardware looks good. I just don't know about the whole cloud storage thing, or the cloud. You know what I mean? Like, how
mhm.
safe
oh,
is
I know
it?
what
I
you
mean,
mean.
they're
Well, it's not only the problem of safe, it's you have to have internet all the time to access what you store in the cloud storage.
and not to mention uploading all that stuff into
Yeah,
the
and that
cloud. It's
takes
gonna,
a huge amount of data.
yeah. So in that sense, I think it's a little bit 50-50 for me. I mean, it's a great looking phone. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's made by good security thing. I'm pretty confident in that. If it was some Chinese company, but I think you can trust these guys. They'll go and stuff. So
Can you say what you just said again? Because I
yeah, okay,
told,
yeah, okay, okay,
I only heard the word Chinese and then
okay. I meant like okay, okay. So labor in China and stuff is cheaper, right?
yeah, because we have
Okay, you
more
agree with.
people.
So there's a sort of understanding that a lot of the smaller companies there that can produce tech stuff cheaper are a little shady. Is that right? Is that all right to say?
I think if you are a smaller company, you do not have market, and then you die out.
And then, well,
So
yeah, but I'm
most
just
of the
saying, like,
time, okay, so the story in China, the company that are doing cloud storage like Tencent, 115, or whatever, they've been doing it for a long time, or they've been a internet company for a long time. They have the ability to build a data center. They need to have the ability in order to do something like this.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just don't think it will be very unsafe, but it's definitely not going to be as good as like Google or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think in terms of very least engineers, so I don't know. I just think I love the hardware. I just think it looks really, really sleek.
Hmm.
Now here's
Especially, have
my
you seen
yeah.
it when it's up? Go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, here's my take on the whole Chinese smartphone market. I think they're whipping up a huge storm right now, especially with the OnePlus, Huawei,
Hmm.
Xiaomi, all those phones. They're great phones. They
And
put
they're cheap.
actual,
That's the
yeah, they're
whole point.
cheap. Yeah, they're super cheap, and they're adding so much detail and they're putting a lot of attention to these phones. Now, granted, with the whole security wise, I don't think any platform or any cloud storage is safe. I mean, even we thought, the Apple iCloud was actually safe, but that wasn't it either.
Okay, I think there's a point that obviously if you're going to say something is absolutely safe, that's not possible.
Yeah.
But the matter is, if what is the possibility for someone who really good at like hacking stuff wants to hack like Sahan and you? Like your phone has absolutely nothing. Why would I spend time hacking your
Yeah,
phone?
a lot of it
Other
on
than I
my
take time
phone.
to hack,
Like,
Exactly.
just
I
'cause
take time to hack some like bank manager or whatever.
what if I have a lot of important stuff on my phone?
Well, not to the hackers, like they don't benefit from it. So I mean, the hackers,
Our tech website there, all right?
a lot of the hackers, they hack the big companies or like, I mean, someone that has money or something that can benefit the hacker. They don't hack normal people. Like they just ran into a random guy from the street and okay, I'm gonna hack his phone and see if he has affair or not. No, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, the future is where people are gonna run around and instead of stealing your phone, they'll just hack it on the spot. They'll just pull out their keyboard and
And I
like, go.
mean, hacking takes time. So for like personal security, if you don't have a huge amount of money, you use a cloud storage for like storing your essays, documents. That's totally
Yeah.
fine. Like, why would you even think about security? Well,
Yeah,
it might get lost, but then I
I
think what you was trying to say security here is like if someone steal your document from the cloud.
right.
Well, I
But
mean, if you read the news, with the iCloud thing, all the celebrities,
well, yeah.
nude photos got leaked. But like nothing is safe. Even
Okay.
websites when we have our accounts and all the personal information, like
That stuff gets
Target
hacked
gets
all the
hacked,
time.
But the
everything gets
idea of uploading your naked picture through the
Is
cloud,
there
though, like that is
is
just
something you want to tell us?
why would you even want to do
hacked.
that?
I don't personally do that, but I'm just saying
I,
that
I don't
happened, and
get it.
I mean, you can use a cloud storage in a right way that you do not even need to think about security because there's nothing you're afraid, even if they steal it.
Okay,
Yeah,
on the subject
I
of
agree.
security
That's true.
slash privacy, I think like I don't have a lot of important stuff on my phone, and I said, I would be comfortable using a phone like that because the worst thing they could do is, what are they gonna look at? My last essay for English, like I'm like maybe my
Exactly.
sorry. I was gonna say like maybe my last like resume or something that I'm gonna submit to college is if I put it on there that'd be a problem. But other than that, I don't see anything. So
Hmm. And another suggestions, if you really wanted to like secure your password of your bank account into like cloud storage, that's just, I mean, if you don't think that's safe, don't do it then.
you're the
Just
kind of person
upload.
that's gonna get hacked anyway. So
Yeah, cloud storage can be very useful, like for students
Oh yeah.
and
oh,
whatever.
totally.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
just some people use it in a dumb way, and then once they get hacked, they,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm just defending the idea that certain smartphone doesn't mean it has a weaker security than the other. I don't think
Well,
that. I think we're all vulnerable when it comes to security.
I think some like okay, so you're not gonna get an expert Robin if you're like some big business person or a celebrity. I think
Hmm.
you're gonna get it if you're an average guy like us who's not gonna care too much about your security. I mean, if you're one of those people, you're gonna get a BlackBerry or something that's or a black phone, something
Is it
built
just
around
me,
security. Get your phone,
you wait?
huh?
Say whatever you said again, because
Yeah, you were lagging.
I didn't hear anything from
Oh,
you.
okay. Oh god, I put all that work and I don't speak. All right. Okay. I think if you're an average person like us, you're not going to care about, you're not going to care about security too much. You're going to care about your basic documents and stuff like that. It's not a
Mhm.
huge deal. If you're a celebrity, a secret agent, the president, someone that actually cares about the security, you're going to buy a secure phone. I don't think the next bit Robin is targeted to people who care about their
Yeah.
security that much.
I mean, for any cloud storage too, like if you are, like you said, if you are whatever is government agent, you use something else. Don't use like the cheap ones that other companies made.
You're going to use one of those Sony phones like James Bond, who always
Huh?
uses an Xperia phone, all of his
But
movies.
that's a movie. That's not reality.
I don't know. James Bond's pretty real.
Hmm. Oh,
All right. So, thoughts on Windows 10?
hmm.
Uh, Windows 10. I'm using Windows 10 now. I've been hearing a lot of complaints that there's a lot of bugs still.
Yes.
I haven't experienced it yet though,
Do
so I
you
can't really say that it's bad. I actually like it. I definitely like it better than Windows 8 though.
are you using it on a laptop?
Yeah, on a laptop.
Okay, so that makes yeah. So am I. Wait. What? So you think you have a lot of bugs too?
No, I don't. I
You
haven't
don't?
experienced it. I've heard from a lot of people
Yeah.
that there were bugs, but
So
I
that's what
haven't
I want to
experienced
talk
it.
about. Is I was really excited for Windows 10. I was like, oh, all my problems with Windows 8, my driver issues, my random lagging, my blue screens, it's all gonna be fine. And then it was for like, a month, 2 months, and then all of a sudden, okay, my phone randomly blue screens. Like the other day, I think I paired a Bluetooth speaker.
Hmm.
First, my audio drivers disabled themselves, so I didn't
Oh,
do anything. Just randomly, audio drivers just nope. Okay, then I restart, and then my computer blue screened,
yeah.
restarted, and I had to re-enable it blue screen, and then I had to re-enable my audio drivers. So
Wow.
like it's that kind of thing. Really get the ecosystem and make use of like Continuum and stuff, but I don't want to if that kind of thing's gonna happen all the time.
I think
You
they're
know?
going to fix it eventually, like all the problems and
Yeah,
bugs.
absolutely.
That's what
Yeah.
we say every time. I feel like it's like, oh, Windows 8, it's gonna be after Windows 8, Windows 10 is gonna be perfect, and then it's not.
I
For
don't
me,
know.
yeah.
It takes time to realize of how many bugs there are actually in your program.
I mean, yeah, I understand you get that after a while, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the general consensus is for. All right, if anyone has Windows 10 right now and wants to comment, let us know what your experiences are. What do you think on the subject of the other like tablets? Let's talk about like the Surface Book or the new Lumia phones coming out, that kind of thing. What do you guys think?
So like Surface Book.
Well, what do you
Surface
think
Book, right?
about? Yeah, we can talk about Surface Book. I was just thinking about the ecosystem as a whole, like Continuum, and I think Continuum is a really cool concept. Not sure how it works
Hmm.
application-wise.
We kind of talked about it last time with the aside with the
Yeah, I
Ubuntu
remember that.
thing.
Oh, right, I do remember that. That was pretty. Like, I think the concept of having everything in one device is so nice. Like, that's like
Mhm.
basically like the perfect thing you want to achieve with a
Right.
phone. But do you think Windows 10 has achieved that?
I
Not
think so.
yet. I mean, like
By
right now,
having,
I think right now it's still too early to be like this is the ultimate phone. This is whatever that can do everything. They can hold on to your documents, do whatever work you've done, and run every program you use in work. That I think it's still too early to say that. But I think they have the idea right now. They have all platform running Windows 10 right now. They're doing it. It's just it takes time, I think.
Yeah, it definitely does take a while to
Yeah.
get that kind of information, I suppose.
And then I
Uh,
think eventually it's still going to be cloud storage. It's too complicated having. I mean, it's sometimes just your phone. I don't think you will have like one device and it does
then
everything for you right now because that is just impossible.
you don't think phones will ever get to the point that they will outright replace everything somehow?
Well, it takes time, but right now, like when you ask the question, do you think when uh they have achieved having one phone and it can does everything? I don't think so.
No. Well,
No, I don't think so either.
I just think it will take some time because your phone, well, simply your phone just not strong enough to run every program that you use daily. That's first, and
right.
then yeah.
Not to mention the size too, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. Or you get one of those. See, what would be cool is like one of those, those Zen phone, not the Zen phones, the Zen Pad. Is that what those things are called? The ones where you take your phone, you put it in a
Oh,
tablet
the
case.
Asus from Asus.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I feel like it's Zen Pad or
Zenpad,
something.
yeah, Zenfone and Zenpad.
Zen Pad, yeah. Those are like that concept is cool. So you take your phone to work, plug it into your Zen laptop screen. All of a sudden, you got your laptop. Take it home. Still got all of your files on the same thing. I think with the combination
Yeah.
of, I think the one thing we're missing is power, is battery. Your phone's not going to last a day if you're constantly plugging into things and using it in different ways.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's the one thing that like smartphone manufacturers have to get right before we can go any farther with anything. Yeah.
Power.
Yeah, battery life is definitely a big problem. Well, then again, they're getting better. I mean, they're putting a bigger battery on certain phones, not all phones, but uh, I think they get the hint.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of battery, what phones do you guys have, and how's your battery life?
Right now, I use the OnePlus X. Now, it has a 2550
I
milliamp
think
hour battery.
that's yeah, that's pretty good. How's that like work day to day?
Well, average every day I'm getting like 3.5 screen on time, which is better with what I'm getting on my OnePlus
That's pretty
2
solid actually.
and my S6 Edge.
I mean, that's sort of understandable, I guess. What do you have, Lolly? Do you have Marshall on that? What are you running? That's Cyanogen, isn't it? Never mind.
No, it's Oxygen OS, but it's still running on Android Lollipop.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So your S6 Edge is what, like 2.5, 3 hours on
No,
average?
sometimes not even 2. I'll be lucky if I get 2.
That's disappointing on a flagship, or at least a.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that just app overload? Like, have you disabled all like system apps and stuff?
Here's the thing. I have the booster, App Booster. I do that,
Oh, you do
and
run the.
also, yeah, I do it on my phone, and then I also disable the apps that I don't use. Even
Have you
with
tried?
that, it drains the battery really
Have you
fast.
tried Greenify?
What was that?
Greenify?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay,
Does
okay.
that work?
Definitely quick sponsored by Greenify.
No.
Um, You should try Greenify. Okay, so basically, you set up a list of apps that you want to disable. You can set it up as a widget, and then you tap it, and it
Yeah.
will not only force stop those applications, but it keeps them from coming back without using like barely any battery.
Oh yeah, it has something like that,
Okay,
something like that where it boosts the battery and kills all the apps that's draining the battery. But still, even with that, um, yeah,
I'm
not
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 sure
that
how
good
much
of a
I
battery life.
trust. Okay, wait, what are you using for that? Because there's some that I'm not sure I trust completely.
Well, this one's pretty well rated. It's called let me see, 360 security.
Oh,
Okay,
You know
I
something
hate
about that?
that.
yeah, what do you want to say, Peter?
360. They don't have a good reputation in China.
Oh, really?
Well, it's
Not
interesting.
like not like they're not safe. It's just they force their user to install all the other products they have.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really pisses
Yeah,
me
that's
off.
yeah, that's the downside to that. But when it comes to like, well, for me personally, when it comes to boosting my phone, it actually works a little bit, but not by much.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think is, what if not to change your daily smartphone habits, but try Greenify for like maybe a week on that phone,
Okay.
and tell
Yeah,
us
I'll
what you.
definitely give that a try.
Because yeah, I think that's something that would help you out.
Are you
Um,
Yeah.
advertising or what? What are you doing right now?
we are totally sponsoring. We are getting paid for every second of this podcast. All right.
Send this video to Greenify.
It's actually such a good idea.
Get money from
Take
it.
my royalty checks now. All right, Pete, you
But
have.
anyways, I have Moto X style,
Oh, okay.
and for me, when I
Sorry, what?
for using for email, texting, calling, without not doing any other things like gaming, it'll last me for a day, and then I will still have about 60% of the battery. But if I have my internet on all the time, it will go down to probably 40.
40. Okay, is that like? Wait, what's your screen on time look like?
I have no idea, but see, for me, I don't. Obviously, my screen is not going to be on all the time because I have classes.
True.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I have the same thing. Like I have the Nexus 6, like the original, and I can generally go like. So on a day with a lot of media consumption, if I'm at home on the weekend watching a ton of YouTube and so playing games and stuff or whatever, I cannot get through the whole day. I'm gonna get like
Yeah.
maybe 4 hours of screen on time, and I'll be done by like 4 or 5 o'clock probably. But I did also buy I recently invested in a turbocharger, which is super useful. I love my turbocharger because I can get a full battery in about an hour, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so what I was gonna say about okay, so I can get about but on a school day, like Peter said, I'm like never get like my phone's pretty much the screen's pretty much never on, so I don't need to I can generally get to like night, like 10 o'clock, 9
Yeah.
on an average day.
Hmm.
But I think if I were a heavy phone user and I do a lot of heavy tasks on my phone, I would still have to bring my charger to everywhere, I think, or a power bank, because I don't think See, I'm not doing very many things with my phone right now, and at the end of
I
the
mean,
day, it doesn't, you only have like about 50% after school, so that's like, if I do something more than what I've been doing, this phone will not last for a whole day for me.
see, like Peter never has like text and stuff to answer, so his battery generally lasts quite a while.
But
Yeah. No, for me, like especially with the OnePlus X, what I'm really surprised is that, especially during the workday, I check my tweets, I check Instagram, I go on YouTube a lot, watch videos, listen to music on the commute back to home and to work, and
Yeah,
even with that, I still get some juice left over for the end of the day.
that's pretty
And
great.
right before I go to sleep, I plug it in.
The OnePlus,
X, yeah,
the OnePlus X. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that's see for a budget phone, that's really nice. I mean, for
yeah,
a phone.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's the best budget phone that I've ever used and seen.
Yeah. I was like, see, I want to pick one of those up. And wait, are they running the invite system on that thing? I kind of forgot.
Every Tuesday it's invite free.
Okay.
Yeah, every Tuesday it's invite free, and I heard you get free standard shipping now.
Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, I saw that on your feed. Yeah, that's pretty nice. See, the
Yeah,
problem is I'm on Verizon because I mean it has okay, so I'm not like super upset about it because they do have the best coverage in our
oh,
area, but like
yeah,
I can never get any of the cool phones. It's either an iPhone, any of the big flagships, or a Nexus or just a Nexus 6, I believe. Most of the other Nexuses are on Verizon.
well,
right.
Which
but first you need to define what do you mean by cool phones.
like the LG V10, probably not. OnePlus 2, no, nope.
It's in Best Buy, that thing. LG V10, you can get it from T-Mobile or AT&T. You can get it in their
I can
stores.
buy them, but the
Or you can
bands
get it
never work. Like
online. You can get everything online to say.
no, I can get a hold of them and I can buy them, but I can't use them on Verizon's network for 4G LTE.
Oh.
Sponsored by Verizon. Yeah, we're getting so much money from this podcast. All right.
We better.
Well, I guess I'll be sponsored by AT&T. Don't text and drive. Okay, so what do you guys? Okay, so we got the three big tablets. Three, not just big. These are three giant tablets. We got the Pixel C, the Surface Book, and the iPad Pro. What are your thoughts?
My thought is, I think for work, Surface Book is obviously the best.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's basically, it's hard to compare them, but this is more of just like a general thoughts about each. We can start with the Surface Book.
For me,
If I was going
yeah.
to,
Yeah, for me, Surface Book is pretty cool. When I first saw it, when I first heard about it, I thought it was like, yeah, I wasn't really agreeing with it. But later on, I keep thinking about it, and it's very practical. You know, it's very
yeah,
lightweight. You can carry it around with you. You could actually do some work on it. Um, Now, with the other, you know, wannabes or other tablets that tries to do that, I don't think it works, especially with the iPad Pro. It's just a big version of an iPad Air with an expensive keyboard, with an expensive
yeah.
pencil.
You know the things on
And
the ads. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say on the ads. So okay, the average person is probably not going to use the stylus for anything productive other than like web browsing and painting or whatever, right?
Right.
That's
You
not
see on the,
true. You can take notes with that
Oh
thing.
yeah.
but on a laptop, it's so much easier. Like no one's going to use that except the people in those ads with like super creative jobs that somehow require them to use every part of the tablet.
Well, I think back to the very basic stuff, the function, like the functionalities. There's no way for Android and iOS to beat Windows 10. You have the full version Windows 10 on Surface Book, and you have every app that you want to use. Like if you are a programmer, for say, will you buy which three of them were you going to buy? Obviously, Surface Book.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll type out all
Well,
your code on Notes and then export it
well,
later.
not just that. It's just there's a lot more app on Windows than Apple and Android. So I was just saying that if Apple and Google wants to step up on things like making a making a things like that, they need to attract the developers first, so then they have enough app for daily uses. Otherwise, there's no way you can compare it to like Surface Book or Surface Pro. That's or any other devices that are running a full Windows.
Well, you're also considering that it's double the price of these things, so they're not really meant to be compared at all. I think if you're going to compare it, it would be more to the Surface Pro 3, but even
Yeah.
that's full
So
window.
that's the problem with what Google and Apple is doing right now. If you want to do that, if you want to achieve something like Surface, then you gotta have something. You gotta have the app. You gotta have the functionality that people will actually use. Otherwise, it's just like something stuck in the middle that nobody wants. That
Right.
like, if you want a portable device, you'll get a smaller inch tablet. If you want to actually work, you'll get a laptop. Nobody really wants things in between, like iPad Pro. What can you do it with?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Yeah.
what can you do on it that you can't do on a laptop is the thing.
That Pro.
There's a lot. It's just there's a lot of things missing from iOS and Android.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you do get that Microsoft Office, you know, the yearly subscription one that you can get on a tablet. But even with that, laptop is still selling a lot more than tablets do because you can actually do work on a laptop, like Peter said.
Mm.
And more like tablets are more for like media consumption, like reading
And then
books, watching movies, or stuff like that.
yes. And then Microsoft also doing a good job on turning like Surface Book or Surface Pro into tablet because when
Yeah.
you take it, you can still do a lot of things on when it's a tablet. When you take out the keyboard, even if you're just doing web browsing, it's still going to be a lot better. The experience is still going to be a lot better than you're doing it on other devices for some people, I would say.
Yeah, you'll get the full
Yeah, see,
computer experience
the
on the
problem.
Surface
Yeah.
Book.
Yeah, that's true. The problem with us being in school is that I mean, no, there's no class where we would just be allowed to use the iPad for the most part.
Right.
meaning we can't test just using an iPad Pro, in day-to-day
Um,
classes.
you know what? If some app really customized for tablets for smaller inches for smaller screen tablets, like if maybe for iPad Pro, if they actually customize it so it's a lot more easier to use on a touchscreen with a stylus, then I think they might have the what do I want to say? They
The
might
edge.
they will
Yeah,
still be
tablet.
something, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if you see. Okay, so this is the thing. I don't think using a tablet instead of a laptop is really a convenience thing. I think it's more of like oh, I can do this now. This is cool, but it's not really helping.
Yeah.
I just think
I
they
don't
need to
see
put
myself.
more.
Huh?
I think they need to put more work on iPad Pro and whatever Google's doing, like the Pixel C, whatever that's
I
called.
love the Pixel C.
They 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 can't just throw it on the market and be like, okay, buy it, cool, and then just leave it alone. They need to do more work on it.
You just whatever you just said activated my OK Google thing on my phone.
Now,
All
what do you think?
right.
Let me have. I have a question for you about Google Pixel C. Now, everyone's saying that it's a great device, it's a wonderful device, but the OS is the problem. Now, what if
Right.
it was a Chrome OS? Do you think that would have been a lot better than having it being an Android OS?
That is what I
Okay.
said.
So this.
That is
That's what you
exactly
just
what I
said,
said to
right?
him when we
Okay.
first had the Pixel C. When we first saw the Pixel C came out.
Oh, okay. So
It's
you think
just
Chrome OS is
then they're
better?
undermining their own product. Aren't they just undermining Chromebooks then? If you can get it cheaper and I mean, I guess the screen's smaller and stuff, but
Right.
still. I just love the hardware. It is such a pretty tablet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely is.
Metal body and a little heavier, but not too bad. And then just the cool Google. I love isn't it like the first made in-house Google product? Google tablet.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that was like a
Like
big deal for Google for sure.
And it shows. I mean, in the craftsmanship, it is such a nice tablet.
It's a nice tablet, but the software is lacking. That's the
I mean,
downside.
I'm kind of I don't know what you like. Okay, so you can get all the Office suite and Google Docs and stuff on Android, but I'm trying to figure out what would make you actually buy this as a work device. What do you do as a name as a would you be able to use this in your day to day? Do
For
you
day
think?
to day, like when it comes to like video editing and stuff like that, or just regular
Well,
life?
your okay, work slash so okay, so your life slash okay, because the problem with me and Peter is that we're in school and we're
Yeah.
a lot of the things we can't use in school, for example, tablets. But since you're actually working, do you think you could use this tablet as at work as as a some sort of video editing slash like your other tool, and then for fun?
I
For
think
No.
depends
for
on.
fun, yeah, definitely for fun. But for work, like video editing and actually, maybe for work, for me, because I actually do sales. I sell
Okay.
electronics. You know, like showcasing what certain devices do by going online. Maybe in that sense, it might be helpful. But when it comes to like video editing, and I don't think any of the device would do or help me out.
Maybe not video editing, but you could use it, to do your Twitter, all your social media type stuff, on the front of, I mean, obviously you can't edit video on a tablet unless it's an iPad. Actually,
Right.
no, that's a good question. Couldn't you use an iPad Pro with no, wait, iMovie is probably not enough for your video editing, is it?
If I upload all my videos onto the iPad, possibly, but I haven't tried it out yet, so I can't
Probably
answer
be too
that
much
question.
work for not
Probably.
because
Yeah.
take all of it, put it on the iPad, and then edit it. That seems like
Yeah, I mean, I have seen like, there was a Bentley commercial that was shot entirely on the iPad, and that commercial was stunning. It was amazing. But will I be able to do that? I don't think so.
no. I mean, even if like I said about the thing about the creative jobs earlier, oh, this guy's traveled Siberia and he's documented everything on his iPad. Okay, sick. It's gonna go around taking pictures, and
Yeah.
that's totally gonna work out.
Yeah,
No
I
one
think
does
it depends
that.
on what. I think it depends on what work you do though.
Yeah,
Like for example,
exactly.
you're a journalist and you don't care to type on a touchscreen, and you can type as fast as on a touchscreen and on an actual keyboard, then you can use it as a work device, I guess. But for a lot
I,
of other people, for a lot of other occupations, there are times that your tablet just simply doesn't have the app that you want, or just not strong enough to
sure.
do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
But then, what I would do, guess what?
But
I'm going to show you something.
oh god,
How do I do this?
are you trying to? Oh,
Um,
you trying to screen share? Okay. Wait, figuring that out.
yep.
We can see something.
Do you see my screen right now?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you see
Yes, we can see.
do you see a thing called iDisplay?
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah,
Viewers,
so
can you
I
see?
tried this for a little while before. What it does is when you first see, it turns your tablet or phone into a second monitor of your computer
Oh, yeah, yeah. I heard
with this
about that.
program. So you can do a lot more. You can, it will just be a screen. It will be an extension from
Have you
your
tried it?
laptop, whatever you're doing. So my idea of this is just when you have tablets and smartphone things like this, you use it on the bus, daily transportations. You're reading news and magazine on it. That will be really sweet. But when you go back to work, you have your computer, and then you don't use your tablets then. So if you want to make your tablets to be useful, something useful, it can become a tool to expand your
Cool.
screen.
Like
Yeah.
you? Yeah, that's true.
I see myself.
How do I stop this? Okay, there. Okay,
Well, we definitely don't. Don't go back.
whatever. I just want to make my point clear first. So yeah,
Does it work
tablets
well?
or
Have you
or what?
have you tried have you tried this thing? Like, does it work well?
I did.
Okay.
It lag
Not?
badly.
Sorry?
It has a bad lag when you drag it to like this screen,
I mean,
but
that's understandable
you
because I mean, loading a computer on a tablet.
I just think um, they are separate devices. Tablets, smartphones, and laptops. There is a reason why people have tablets and laptop instead of having things in between, because they're a lot of time they're doing different things. You use your tablet for reading when you are laying on the couch, when
Yep.
you are laying on the bed, but because that's better than you're holding a laptop on your lap.
Sure.
And you have laptop because it's a lot powerful and it can run the program you have when you're at work.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
because that's what I do. I have a tablet, I have a laptop, and I do two different things on two different devices, obviously, but definitely.
So back to the very beginning when we talk about Surface Book and other devices. So you have that. If you wanted to make something that can combine two things together, you must have both portability and functionality. And the
Yeah.
only company that
Yeah.
can achieve that is Microsoft with Windows 10 right now.
but like we said, I think they need to get Windows 10 to the point that no one is having bugs. It is working fine as in every platform before they can. Like the thing about Apple is, while they may not have the cohesive ecosystem yet, they're the closest in a different way. They're the closest in the sense that they like everything they do just works. Like when you get an iPad, you know when you get it out of the box, it's gonna get iOS updates. It's gonna probably last you 3-4 years. Like my dad still has an iPad too that we've been using for a while, and it's fine. Like
Yeah.
you can still use it. You know?
Hmm. I think it's
Absolutely.
easier. The Apple devices are easier for people to use because everything is very easy. You just tap and then you go in something and then home screen come back. But I don't think a lot of time bug is not an issue for me.
But I think the thing about iOS is not only is it user friendly, but it's also as much as I love her, do you agree?
What was
What is
that?
your point?
That
I didn't catch that.
God, every time I want to make like a really emotional point. Um, I think okay. I was just gonna say that I think, as much as I love Android, I think iOS just works better in a lot of cases.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree too. I mean, Android, you can do so much with it, but I
Hmm.
think because of that, it kind of slows down the whole,
Right.
how do I say, the whole phone. Apple is just simple. It's just laid out in front of you, and it's even though they don't have that much RAM or a better processor than other flagship, but
Well, yeah, but
it's
then you have to look at the very basic of
yeah,
Android and and Apple. That's is so much of a long story of why Android is still slow compared to Apple when it comes to when Android have all this powerful hardware. It's really something to do with the bottom of their system, how they constructed their system from very beginning.
So
Is
yeah,
you just can't compare them really, unless Android totally changed the whole thing. But I don't know if they're going to do that. They might though. If they, it might be a lot better when they combine Android with a Chrome OS. But right now, there's just no way you can compare the like the smooth, the
smoothness. Yeah.
whatever, yeah, the smoothness between Android and Apple.
I
Because
think
Apple will always be smooth. It might not necessarily be faster to open an app than Android device, but the system doesn't crash as much as Android.
it's reliable.
yeah. So that's my point. I'm saying that
Yeah.
Android, well, I'm sorry, iOS is better optimized
Right.
than
Yes.
Android.
Yes.
With all the
Um,
same code base and everything. I think of the three, because of how reliable and mostly less bugs that iOS has, I think it's going to be the closest to that dream we were talking about earlier of
No bug.
everything being connected. Sorry.
Well, like everything that every system, well, like having no bugs at all.
Right. No bugs at all. I'm talking about the continuity thing. Like everything is going to be connected. Like if you look at not continuity, the continuum. Like all your devices are connected. You can use one thing and it's gonna move to the next. It's gonna
yep.
be, or you can use one device for.
Yeah. Actually, Sahan,
And I think that
I think you missed a very interesting point when you're talking about Zenfone, Zenpad, and Continuum.
what do you think?
Your idea when you say you can take something out from something. So when you take it out, you just take it away to go for productabilities. But when you need functionality, you plug it in into something else, and it become a more powerful device. That's very. That's actually what a lot of company has been doing right now. Do you
Yes.
know? Well, for say some laptop, some really good laptop, they will have a dock
Right.
to support that you can put it in, and it will connect it to a more powerful graphic cards and even a power supply.
Yeah, but I just think like platform wise, in terms like so. Although Windows is going for the whole unified system, one device for everything, that kind of thing, I do think iOS will get there faster just because of how well everything works. That's my point.
I think Windows is already there.
It's there, but like what we talked about earlier with Windows bugs, like you're not gonna want if your phone keeps crashing when you try and plug it into the external monitor, you're not gonna want to use it as your computer.
But
You know?
we'll fix it in time to time. I mean, a lot of time bug is not a issue unless you completely cannot run something, unless it completely crash. But a lot of time you will neglect the bug because that's the only thing you can use in order to do something. Like, let's say if you have a Surface Book and you have a bug of your soundboard that you can't turn on your sound,
Or your
but
audio drivers shut themselves
you
down all
needed
the time.
Windows in order to run a software. In that situation, you're not going to care about the soundboard. You're just waiting for them to fix it. That bug is not going to affect you that you're going to use Windows.
But it's annoying though, like if
That is just something we have to deal with. I mean, we just have to sit there and wait for them to fix. But a lot of time you're not going to, unless it's a bug in the program that you want to use itself. A lot of times it's not going to stop you to use a device and to get into something that you're going to use.
Right. Okay. Well, you guys got everything else you want to talk about? Anything interesting?
I want to finish my discussion with that. So, you know, see, I've been talking about product portability and functionality.
Right.
So, back to that laptop idea. That idea is the same thing. When you take the laptop out of the dock, you have a laptop that you take out to, like, if you go somewhere else to work, then you have a smaller device. You can still do a lot of things on it. But when you
Right.
come back home, you want it to be more powerful, so you can put it on the dock. Instead of buying a whole new computer or having a whole new computer in your house, you just have a dock. And when you put something less powerful on a dock, it became something that you want that can do something more than well, I'm so confused about what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Yeah. Obviously, you transform a phone into something more powerful, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
yes. So that's I'm actually really sad about Zenfone falling because they have the same idea. When you don't want a huge device, you just take it out. You just take out your phone and then you go
But
somewhere.
That's
And then
a
when
problem with Android.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say is that the platform is what matters. I don't think it's the concept is there. It's just the problems with the platform is what's restricting.
Yeah.
What's restricting this whole thing.
And then same idea with like Surface Book or Surface Pro, and even with MacBook actually, you can make MacBook into something really powerful for some people. Like, I would say the top MacBook with the best hardware is will be enough for majority of the people that wants to do that doing work other than school. Then what you do, you can just do a you can just plug your MacBook into multiple screens and do different things. You can still get the same experience as having a totally different computer
Okay.
from the MacBook. Oh gosh, what I'm trying to say.
All right.
I'm lost.
Muting.
I'm sorry, but
Brain freeze.
I just think right now Microsoft has the best idea
I
for
think it's
that
and
for
you're getting
combining portability and functionality.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Well
I
said.
agree on that front. So yeah, I mean, even Samsung, they came up with the Tab S Pro, which is exactly what Microsoft Surface is, but with Samsung's brand in it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one. I want to see how Samsung brings, what Samsung brings to the table.
Yeah, I mean they have. I mean, as much as we talk about the three big ones, Apple, Android, and Microsoft, like
Yeah.
Samsung themselves has a really big. I mean, with Tizen and all their new devices, like the devices that just aren't running Android, they have a pretty big thing going for themselves.
Yeah. Even though
Hey,
it's still Android, but yeah.
Peter, is Samsung big in China?
What?
Samsung big in China?
Mainly because they're cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, really?
I wasn't sure what the brand recognition was like in other places. I mean, I know.
They were actually, you know what? From my experience with all the tablets, I have all three of my tablets Samsung, and
Yeah,
then one other iPad. But from my experience, I think Samsung does make the best tablets in Android.
Really?
They
Okay.
do have the best. They do have enough. They do have the experience. They do have the ability to make things better than some other companies.
Okay. I
Like
do.
just talking about tablets. What?
I don't. Okay, so I know you like Samsung tablets, but I just don't like TouchWiz at all. Like I understand multi-window and all the random stuff Samsung throws in, but like Nate was saying, he has a flagship 7.5 hours battery. Like that's unbelievable, right? Like, is that a problem?
What?
Like,
Yeah.
God, okay. I'm just saying that I problem with them is they're
I think
and
you totally
that's a bad
lagged
thing.
out. Really.
God, come on.
Every
Okay,
time.
Samsung, am I good there? You
Yeah.
guys, Samsung, bad. Okay. Okay, Samsung. My problem is multi-window. As much as I like it, I think strong Android's going in the direction is going in a good direction, and it's gonna get the stuff, the things I like from Samsung without the bloat. That work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, still the same thing. For me, I really like having this hardware, having this tablet, that having all the things I can do, like multi-screens. I'm not going to care about what UI it has. I'm not going to care about whether it has stock Android or it has TouchWiz. I'm happy
But
about this tablets because all the things, all the other things, like, well, I don't like fingerprint sensor. It doesn't really recognize my
it's so ugly though.
fingerprint telephone.
Uh,
But I mean,
What do you think? What do you think? Come on,
what
think it through.
I mean, when this is still the best tablet you can get in Android market. That's something you can't argue with.
I can
This
though.
is
Like look at the Pixel we were talking about. Like although it doesn't have multi-window, I believe like Marshmallow almost brought multi-window. It's hidden in options, but you can access it. So I'm gonna assume if the next version of Android has multi-window
no.
with
What if you want
whatever,
something smaller? What if you want an 8-inch tablet that you just hold on in your hand?
Xs 9, that's like
Then
close.
which Android tablet will you pick other than Samsung? Tell me. Just answer that question for me.
Nexus 7, Nexus 9. What else?
The Nexus, okay, but Nexus 9 has hardware from what, a year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, but it's still gonna
I
run
don't
better
want,
because it's not
no,
running a
no.
bunch of Samsung nonsense.
Well,
I'm
I just
serious.
think it's a matter of opinion. Like
Yeah,
some
absolutely. Yeah,
people
it's
like
it's
it, some
definitely a
people will
matter of
not.
opinion.
All
Here's the
right,
thing.
fine.
Let me just say this.
Hmm.
I don't know if you watch MKBHD on his perfect smartphone. I think this
Oh
applies
yeah, yeah.
to everything. There is no perfect device for every single person.
Except the
There isn't.
iPhone.
No, well, even some people would disagree with you on that one, but
Yeah, I know.
everyone has their own specific needs on a device. So to have iOS, Android, Windows, it's great because everyone can, choose what they want to find their own perfect
Hmm.
device. And
But I can
but
tell you the
yeah,
story behind why I buy this tablet. So this year my old tablet is still a Samsung. That one broke after 2 years. Right after my volunteer like get over, and it broke. So I was like, oh, screw this. And I was looking for a new
For
tablet.
Samsung.
Yeah, and I was looking at a new tablet, and I wasn't sure about which brand I was going to get. And I'm not that well. I wasn't just going directly to another Samsung tablet. I was actually looking through all the other tablets that's on the market. And the first thing I'm thinking is to get an Android tablet because I like Android and I
Right?
can do so many other things with Android. And then I look at different brands. I absolutely do not buy the tablets made by some brand that I never heard of. So obviously I look into LG, Samsung,
But
and okay, Google Nexus. And then
Google Nexus.
I look for something 8-inch that has a 2K resolution. And guess what happened? This and Nexus are the only two things
Why
that
was
meet my
2K resolution a
standard.
big deal?
well,
Why was 2K resolution a big deal?
Because
it,
it's so much better having a higher resolution.
I
Is
disagree. Okay, Nate, what do you
okay.
think about that?
all right.
Personally,
Yeah,
uh, personally for me, everything that I talk about is something that I need.
yeah, yeah. Like I said,
But
everyone
you
has
might have
different.
a different
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But
Everyone has
Well,
that's
I don't.
how I pick. That's how I end up with my Samsung tablet.
Now here's my take on the display
So either,
technology. Yeah, the last thing I'll say. The S6 has what does it have? Quad HD.
yeah,
That's
in
2K, right?
Full HD.
So um, in that with the regular 1080p, to be honest with you, if it's a small device, I can't really tell the difference. Now, if it's on a tablet, um, there's a
Right.
huge difference. Yeah, the bigger the screen gets, the difference that you will
The
see,
more difference.
in my opinion.
It's just
But do
annoying.
I really justify paying a little extra to get a 2K or a 4K tablet? No. I'd rather just go stick with the regular 1080p.
Hey, no
Well, I
quote.
think-
Fresh.
yeah. Well, back to your question, when you ask me why 2K is a big deal, having a higher resolution is actually a joy for me when I'm looking at pictures. Is
Mhm.
higher is a better quality. Looking at my old pictures, they are better qualities.
Are your selfies?
All my videos, they are better quality. It's just something that improved my experience. So that's why 2K is important for me. That other tablets doesn't have.
Okay, so everyone has their own, and Peter's wrong. That's it. He just doesn't know what he wants. What he wants isn't right.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, just brush it off and walk on, Peter.
Sure.
I don't know if I agree with you, Peter.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out someday.
Well, I mean, I don't
I
care.
finally get my.
I'm happy with my
I finally
tablet, so you can say whatever you want.
tell yourself that, Peter. You enjoy your Samsung whatever TouchWiz. All
You
right.
hate touch
You guys
wiz, you
got
hate
anything
Samsung.
on? I was gonna say, you guys any leaving comments? Anything you want to ask quick? Say
Well,
Do we have any Q&A?
no, do we?
we ran out of them.
Yeah, we already answered all the questions, right? Where'd he go?
We don't have
Uh,
said an iPad. I don't think we can. Yeah.
Uh,
Sahan,
I think we're good. One was what's wrong with Peter's
just-
hair? Did you see that one, Nate?
no. I think
Something's
you're
wrong with
lagging,
Peter's
bro.
hair.
your internet
Oh, okay.
sucks.
I didn't see it.
That's why.
I was
That's
just
why I
trying,
said.
I was, that's okay. I was trying to make funny. I can't even do that. I like to live in the basement. I just said like, oh, one of the comments is Peter's hair sucks or something. But I guess.
Okay. Really? And you lagged again.
Don't worry about it. All right. Whatever. I don't care anymore.
Alright.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end the broadcast now. Thank you guys for watching, and that was Masalatech and Nate's son from Tech Me Now.